Hi folks, it's already over a week into August, and not only have I not posted a TBR video for this month until now, I haven't read a single page of the books that I'd planned to read, so it's time to set that straight. First up is Foundation by Isaac Asimov, of course. I went through a lengthy Asimov phase in my teens, but I haven't read anything by him for a long time, decades probably. The recent TV series has rekindled some interest in these books, and although I haven't seen the TV show, I'm not immune to the related buzz. A reread it is then. Another reread is Dune Messiah. I did a video about my favourite science fiction book series a while back, and the Dune books by Frank Herbert did very well in that, although I did confess at the time that I hadn't read books 2 to 6 since the 1980s. I do love the first book, so I hope to enjoy reading this one again. Over the last month or two, I've acquired about 20 of Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern books. They're taking up a lot of shelf space, and I'm not sure whether they'll be my cup of tea. I recently heard her books described amusingly as like reading Catherine Cookson in space, so that's contributed to my scepticism. But I shouldn't judge until I've actually read some of it, so I'm tackling the first one, Dragonflight, which is the OG Dragon Rider book, first published in 1968. McCaffrey's adamant that her Pern books are science fiction rather than fantasy, but we'll see. Dragons definitely have a strong whiff of fantasy about them, don't they? Ship of Strangers by Bob Shaw is next on my pile for this month. This will be my first Shaw, and judging solely by the blurb on the back, I think I'm going to enjoy it. Top flight space adventure. Shaw's control is immaculate and his action supercharged. Or so it says. Just reading the rest of the blurb, there does seem to be some sort of Star Trek vibes about it. The survey ship Sarafand journeys through space, exploring and mapping newly discovered planets, bringing them into contact with many startling life forms and menacing aliens. All that packed into 150 pages that cost me 99p. That's what we like. Another reread next. The Player of Games continues my sequential repeat journey through the culture novels by Ian M. Banks. I don't remember a great deal about it, but I'm sure it will feel familiar when I dive in. The protagonist travels for 2 years to the Empire of Azad in the Magellan Cloud, a rather unsavoury autocratic regime, just the sort that special circumstances might attempt to interfere with. There's the obligatory snarky drone, an offer too good to refuse, a game so realistic that the winner is crowned emperor, side bets that can result in castration of the loser, and the planet catches fire too. But what does all this have to do with special circumstances? I guess I'll find out. The Stone Canal is next. I read The Star Fraction a few months back, my first MacLeod novel. I think I'm right in saying that this is the sequel, the second of a trilogy that ends in the Cassini division. This book fires us into the future, but there's also links back to 1970s student politics in Glasgow, of all things. The protagonist is a clone of a long-dead anarchist who has muck to rake on the leader of Ship City on Mars. It sounds like quite a jumble of ideas. I'm keen to dive in. I really enjoyed the first book. Next is Cities in Flight by James Blish, a genre classic. I've never read it or anything else by Blish. This book was originally published as 4 separate stories. In this future, there are 2 scientific breakthroughs that drive the plot. The first is longevity drugs, which enable humans to live for thousands of years. And the second is an anti-gravity gizmo that ultimately allows whole cities to become giant spaceships, leading to the establishment of a unique galactic empire. So if I get through all that, I still have plenty of short stories to read. Let's see how I get on. What's on your TBR pile this month? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now.